last 80 years. So it's not just about winning the war, it's also about winning the peace. And history shows us that when you get the peace right, it's a lasting peace. When you get the peace wrong, it tends to be over pretty quickly.
That's very chilling to hear that summary from you there when we know the headlines today. Let's just take in some of the sights and sounds. The procession is underway, and it's interesting the timing of it. No one who's left Parliament Square has yet reached Buckingham Palace. It's a reminder of how this procession is moving. The King's Troop Royal Horse Artillery and the mounted band behind. Now let's have a word about these horses. Apollo and Juno. The famous drum horses lead the band. It's recorded that as early as 1660 the regiment was preceded by its own mounted kettle drummer and 4 trumpeters. They hold the rank of major, these drum horses. The most senior animals in the army. In fact, James is saluting the horses as I speak here. Juno is the first mare to take this role. She weighs nearly a ton, and she has to be ridden along with Apollo, with the reins operated by the stirrups, with an adult in full ceremonial uniform, the 2 kettle drums, and Apollo pulled the carriage when the then Duchess of Cornwall visited the farm where both Apollo and Juno are from in Wales. There's Joy again with His Majesty, and to your point, Katie, the King is relaxed with people who basically are of his mother's generation. She a veteran too.
100%, and he will be. Well, we can't hear what they're saying, but he will be listening to these stories. He will be, I think, very keen to meet with many of the veterans, of course, some of whom he has met before. And that Buckingham Palace garden party a little bit later on will be another opportunity for these stories to be shared and these very important tales to be told and retold. And it makes me think back to those images. And of course, actually, we should also point out the Queen, of course. We talk about the royal family and its links to the military, but of course, Queen Camilla has her own links to the military. Her father, Major Bruce Shand, he served in the Second World War in the Battle of Dunkirk. Indeed, he was a prisoner of war in Germany. And I think one of the times that we see the Queen most moved and deeply affected is when she's meeting with veterans, when she's hearing their stories. And of course, she's Colonel-in-Chief of the Royal Lancers, which is her late father's regiment. So that sort of sense of history and connection with the military community runs both through the King and, of course, his lineage, but also through Queen Camilla too.